This year, the Scott had the comeback fight of the night.
3-0 in San Jose now.
Make some opening remarks.
Oh man, right now I'm still just overwhelmed with emotion. Thank you everybody for the support and believing in me. Thank you so much, Strikeforce, for the main event. I mean, I believe in myself as a fighter. I believe I'm an exciting fighter, but it takes a great organization and a great venue for people to be able to see that. And you know, this is a dream come true for me. You know, being on this banner right here next to a legend, Kung Lee, the opportunity to fight Kung Lee. I was fortunate enough to, you know, beat Kung Lee. This is just all a dream to me. So thank you, Strikeforce, and Showtime.
Scott, in the first round after you were put down, was there any fear in your mind that it might be stopped, or you know, or were you thinking, I just gotta get up?
Yeah, absolutely. I got caught. I was more worried about the midsection. He caught me with one midsection shot, and that was the very first kick he threw. So I was real worried about keeping my elbows in. That was the strategy in the fight, was blocking the kicks with my elbows. My elbows are killing me right now, so I did a good job of that. But he came over the top of my hands with one of those kicks and dropped me, had me rocked, and I was just trying to cover up. And he landed some shots, but I blocked most of them. And after I'd come to my senses, and he'd rocked me with another one. And I knew Big John warned me a couple times, so I knew I had to get up and you know, I weathered the storm, and I think he wore himself out a little bit, and I was fortunate enough to get up and keep fighting.
Once got rocking with that short, choppy left, can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, you know, I watched the replay, you know, just one time up on the big screen, but the whole plan is, you know, my left hook is my best punch. It's not my straight right that I've been knocking a lot of people out with. So the plan was to feint that right and throw the left hook, and I've been working on that a lot. It didn't look as pretty as it felt. But you know, I think I got him to bring his hands in when I when I feinted the straight right and caught him with the left hook.
Scott, your brother won his first professional fight last weekend. You won tonight. Did you get holidays?
Yeah, very. You know, I was so excited for my brother. He fought last week in his first pro MMA fight. Maybe we'll see him on the Challenger Series here in a couple fights. But yeah, this is just really good. He actually helped me with my training. Came along, and you know, my brother's just getting into it. He's been wrestling for years, but to see my brother, you know, work a day job and then come along to practice with me and train hard, it kind of gave me the motivation. Like, hey, there's no reason why I can't be pushing a little bit harder too. So that was really good to have my brother along my side. This was my title fight. This is a bigger than a title fight for me right now. But, you know, Strikeforce is so loaded at the 185 weight class. I mean, the signing of Linlin, Jacare, you know, you got Lawler, I mean, Dan Henderson, you name it. It doesn't matter who they give me. It's going to be a great fight for me, you know, just like the Kung Lee fight. So I'll let Scott Coker decide and my management team decide. But obviously I'm not afraid to fight anybody. You can look at my resume, and that'll tell you that. I like the exciting fights, and I'm thankful Strikeforce has been giving them to me. Yeah, you know, every time we kept our distance, I found myself in a bad position. I don't have very long arms as it is. I don't have very good reach, so I had to get in and close the distance, and he did a very good job of moving. And once I did finally close the gap, I felt myself, you know, kind of block some of those kicks. He kind of hit me in the shoulder with his knee instead of a kick. So, yeah, you definitely have to close the gap on a guy like Kung Lee. It was more of a balance issue. The ones that went to the midsection, I blocked them with my elbow. You know, the cage was able to keep me up, but it probably looked worse than what it was. But he definitely, I mean, you can look at my face. He landed some good shots. I knew I needed to finish him to win. Yeah, definitely a sense of urgency. I felt him slowing down, but of course I was slowing down a little bit too. So I knew I had to go out there and finish it. Yeah, I think I definitely need to change my strategy a little bit. Maybe get beat up in the corner before I go in and fight. I need to get beat up and get mad and have a sense of urgency to do good. You know, can't remember the last time I won a first round in a fight.
Any other questions for Scott?
In the fight, it was Kung-Lee was hitting you on the side of the head, and you were just blocking, and but it was only when he reached in and socked you in the face. It was like he just totally changed. Like you just had so much energy after that.
Yeah, it wakes you up a little bit. It's one of those sense of urgency. Yeah, you got to kind of get mad a little bit. Definitely.
Well, again, it was a great fight, and you know, Scott has had some great fights here. His fight with Benji Raddick was a classic in April on the undercard to the Shamrock Diaz fight, and you know, we look forward to many more fights with Scott in the future. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Where's Esther?